In today's video, I'm going to be editing your photos. That's right, my subscribers sent me their raw files. They had that much trust in me. Thank you guys. So I got them all here. I got Lightroom open and I'm actually going to be editing in Lightroom. I usually edit in Photoshop, but just for this video, I'm going to do it in Lightroom because then you guys can actually see what I'm doing. Like Lightroom is easy. If I edit in Photoshop, you guys, we're going to be here all day. I hope I make you guys proud. Okay, let's get started. Before we begin, this video is sponsored by Squarespace. So first person up is Jad Warde. I hope I'm saying that right. It sounds a little Middle Eastern, am I right? My cousin's name is Jad. So let's take a look at the settings. It was shot at 100 ISO, 70 millimeters was the focal length. The f-stop was 3.5 and the shutter speed was 1/160. So for anyone wondering how this photo was shot, there you go. All right, let's get started and let's see, what am I gonna do first? Maybe I'm gonna do a little bit of a warm tone for this one. I don't know. I kind of just do a little bit of everything and hope it goes right. So maybe a little bit more contrast. Look at there, look at, I'm done. Okay, let's go on over to the tone curve here. All right, let's see what we can do here. Oh, okay, I don't, you know, I'm just doing a little bit of everything and seeing what looks nice. I find that when you add stuff, then I just kind of take it away, and that's what I normally do. Oh, let's change up the hue of the greens in the back. I think that would be really pretty, actually. Do we want it like synthetic fake grass, or you know, like unnaturally unwatered for like 100 years grass? What are we doing here? Okay, let's do that. Okay, so maybe, I don't know, the hue of the green is, I don't know which hue I want for the, because she's wearing like this nice orange, red orange shirt, so I kind of want it, like I want the shade to kind of complement that color. Okay. Kind of looks the same. I feel like I did nothing. I literally did like 15 things and then it ends up being this like before and after, no change. You know when you work for like 2 hours on picture and then you look at the before and you're like, literally did, like it looks sharpened, but that's it. That's all I did. Okay, let's just go on over to the highlights and let's see what we can do here. I do want it a little bit more warm toned. So I did add a bit of yellow in the highlights. The shadows, I'm going to add a bit of orange as well to the shadows. I'll show you guys like when I go this way. When I'm, you know, upping the saturation, it's adding a lot more. So I kind of like that actually. Ooh, oh, I kind of like that. Like, I love the color of her shirt now, but I mean, it looks like a, you know, Fanta. It's like a Fanta advertisement, you know, the orange soda. Love that. You know, I think I'm just going to go for it. Like, it's not my picture. Let's do that. I kind of like this orange tone. Wow, that is stunning. I love these colors. Whoever did the styling, like, really got it right here, because you picked the perfect colors for this background. Maybe when I reopen it in an hour, I'm gonna be like, what was I thinking? But right now, it's looking good. You guys ever do that? You edit for like 3 hours and you're like, wow, I'm amazing, I'm so talented. You take a break, you eat a bowl of cereal, you come back, you open it up, and you're like, okay, this is going straight into the trash. Did my eyes not work 2 hours ago? That's what you start to think when you open it up. Last thing is blue primary. I think I like this so far. I don't want it too saturated. I think that's pretty. But then I do want the greens to pop out a little bit more, so I might go back to the greens here on the color, the hue, saturation, and luminance tab, and let's pop out the greens even more. I like this. Okay, last thing I'm going to do is just add clarity. This is the last thing, I promise. Okay, so we added a little bit more clarity. And there we go. I'm going to be taking these into Photoshop and I'll show you guys the final retouched photo. So I'm going to show you guys the before and the after with the retouching. The next one is from photographer Cristiano Hermoso. He sent this beautiful picture of one of my dear friends, Sydney Harper. You guys may have recognized her from the 4 Photographers video. She's been in many of my other videos. So yeah, I really wanted to edit this one because I was like, oh, that's one of my friends, you know, and I really like the picture. I think the styling is so cool. So let's see what I come up with for this one. I feel like it's gonna be a little tricky because there are so many colors. Got some yellow, blue, pink, green. I mean, we got every color in the color wheel, which I love. I love all types of colors and I love a challenge. So okay, first thing, let's do calibration first and see what we get. Like, see what happens with the blue primary. Maybe we can just change the whole color scheme like that. See how it kind of made the yellow a little bit more orange. Green primary. Ooh. Oh, that's kind of nice. The shadows. I don't really add a lot of the shadows thing. I just ignore it. It's just kind of there. I feel kind of bad for it. Okay. Oh, that's nice. Okay. Ooh, you use the Sigma lens on this one. Let's check out the settings, shall we? The ISO was at 100. Focal length 24 millimeter. The f-stop was at 3.3 and the shutter speed was 1/500. So that's really interesting. The Sigma lenses are really nice, very sharp, as we can see here. Super sharp, beautiful. Okay, let's see. We got a few blue colors in here. Well, I mean, wow, it's making such a huge difference already. Okay. Like I said, this is going to be so tricky because there's so many colors. Wow, I actually really like this bumped up because the blue in the background shows in the background, aka the sky. All right, let's check out orange here. Let's see if we decrease some of the no, okay, we don't want that. Okay, maybe the tone curve. I don't even know what I'm doing, to be completely honest. You know how some people are like, okay, then we're gonna, just take the highlights and bring them down according to the focal length of the diameter of the like, I'm just over here like, maybe tone curve, maybe up there. Let's bump up the saturation +5. Yeah, that's. Some photographers use the same presets or the same colors for every photo, and it's really easy for them to stay consistent. For me, I shoot so many different things and different types of lighting that it's very hard to just be like, yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing I did to the last photo. That's not how it works with me. I wish it was. I would save a lot of time. Okay, maybe a little less contrast. Yeah, okay. Maybe the temperature. Let's see. Ooh, that's pretty. I like that. It's a bit on the warmer side. Okay. Ooh, that's nice. Okay. So I kind of just removed a little bit of the contrast of this photo. So maybe I'll decrease the luminance in the orange. I was like, let me add some orange. And then I'm like, let's not do any of that. So I'm going to decrease the highlight. It's bringing in more of that sky, which I love. We love a well-exposed sky, right? I never used to pay attention to that when I was shooting it. Like even if the background was all blown out, like the sky is just all white, I was like, yeah, okay, great photo. The model still looks good, but now I'm a little bit more cognizant of that when I'm shooting. So appreciate the sky being there. And then also you get that nice blue in the sky. It really complements the photo. So we didn't do the highlights. Let's see. Maybe I want to add a highlight. Is that too much? Probably, but let's just do it anyways. Literally me and everything. This is not my picture, so. I'm really happy with this one, honestly. I think the colors turned out great. I feel like the hue of orange goes well with that blue. And then we have that soft green. I overall just made the photo a little bit softer, and I'm really happy with this edit. I'm going to be showing you guys the final with the skin retouching, so here it is. So here it is. So before we get to the next edit, I would love to thank the sponsor for today's video, Squarespace. So Squarespace actually has a lot of amazing features for photographers. And I would recommend, if you're gonna do photography full time, you need a good website. You need something that's easily accessible to clients. You need something that's gonna look good. And you wanna make sure you can update it really easily. And they have all of that. A couple things that I really love, they have appointment scheduling. So if you wanna show clients when you're available, when you're not, they go to your website and they can see when you're available, they can book you. If you want to reschedule somebody, you don't have to sit and coordinate the dates and everything. They can just go on the website and do it from there. It makes it super easy, especially if you're a wedding photographer or if you're doing events, you know how stressful it can be to reschedule people. So they have appointment scheduling, which is amazing. The next thing they have, which I absolutely love, are their galleries. You guys, it's so easy to customize your own gallery. You can do before and afters. You can customize like the thumbnail size if you want it a little bit smaller. You can place your pictures where you want. You can show off you can have different pages with different portfolios. They have beautiful designer templates. You can even preview them before it goes live on your website just to see how everything's gonna look. You can change, like if one day you want to change your template, you can click install. It just changes the whole thing. You don't have to sit, recode everything. It makes it so easy. And for something like that, when you're shooting all the time, you don't have time to sit and worry about, I gotta redo my whole website because I want a new look. You can do it so simply using Squarespace. They have an all-in-one platform that's really easy to use. That's why I recommend it to you guys. That's why I recommend it to all of my friends who want to start websites. So head to squarespace.com for a free trial. You guys can check it out. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/Jessica. Use my offer code Jessica for 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. So with that being said, let's go on over to the next edit. The next one is from Victoria Lamanico. This is such a cool picture. Where were you? Let me zoom in here. What is this? I don't know, but I like this location. I would definitely shoot here. So let's look at the settings here. The ISO was at 1000. It was taken at 16 millimeter. The f-stop is at 5.6, and it was taken at 1/20th of a second. Well, girl, where were you? Can I come with you on your next photo shoot? I want to see. This one looks very adventurous. I'm loving the outfit. It's so cool. We have a little bit of red here, the neon, like pastel green jacket. So that's going to be really fun to play around with in Lightroom. Okay, let's begin here. First, I'm just going to bump up the exposure a little bit, decrease the contrast. I like this already. There you go. Okay, so shadows. It's always so hard to shoot. It looks like it was taken indoors somewhere, or maybe even underground somewhere, or like a parking structure or something, a warehouse. But it is very hard to shoot, at least for me, indoors where there's no natural light. So it was very well taken. I like this. Okay, maybe decrease exposure. Just a little bit of temperature, like on the warmer side. I feel like that's the first thing I'm gonna do for all the pictures. Like, let's just add a little bit of yellow in there. Okay, and then the tone curve. I feel like you could really just do a tone curve on these and then just like call it, like you're good. Tone curve is amazing. It's my favorite thing to use in Lightroom. You can change a picture drastically. For better or for worse, if you know what I mean. Like, you could destroy a picture with this tone curve. So we can kind of change the hue of the red, but I like the shade that it's at. I just want it to be a little bit more prominent. So we're trying to pop it out a little bit more. Oh, do we want the cardboard boxes to shine, or do they go unnoticed? I like the cardboard boxes. We'll give them a little bit of saturation. Like, do I want the cardboard boxes lighter or darker? I feel like darker makes the model stand out, so I'm gonna do that. I want to do something a little bit weirder with, maybe not. I feel like when I get too adventurous, it just ends up looking clowny. So I'm not trying to do that to your pictures. Like, I'll do it to my pictures gladly. Do we take this at the circus? No, but it looks like it. But for your pictures, I'm gonna try to be a little bit more subtle with these edits. I love adding this yellow shadow. Like, it's like barely, like, it's grayish yellow too. but it makes a huge difference. Like if I bump up the saturation here, you can see it is adding quite a bit of yellow. It's saturating the yellow even more. So we want it very slightly. So, enable profile corrections is one button. Oh, didn't do anything. Okay, never mind. My bad. You know, there's probably a billion tools in Lightroom that I don't even use. I understand. I just don't even feel the need to like look at transform. I don't see myself really using any of this, you know? Maybe one day I'll try to learn something new, but until then, I'll do the same stuff. And now we're back at calibration. All right, let's see what we got here. Oh, that is pretty. Okay. Oh, that's nice too. Tones are so pretty. Okay, I kind of like that. I feel like we can add a little bit more contrast to this photo. Yeah, like right here. Let me see the highlights. I want to see if I add in blue what it's going to do. Oh, that's kind of cool. Are we doing blue for the highlights, or are we just keeping it classic? You know, we're doing the blue. We're just doing it. So I'm going to show you guys the before and then the final photo with the retouch. Let's go. So the next one is from Cloudy Ports or Cloudy Ports. I'm really sorry. I think I must have made a mistake when I was naming these. In any case, I'll have your name down below so we can give you some credit for your beautiful picture. And let's start off. Let's check out the settings. The ISO was at 80. It was taken at 23 millimeter. The f-stop is 2.5 and the shutter is 1/500. So those are the settings for this photo. First thing, let's bump up the exposure here. It's a pretty busy background. Even in the foreground is kind of busy too. The background is kind of busy. So this one's gonna be interesting to edit. So first, let's bump up the exposure. And then I'm decreasing the contrast just a little bit. Bringing out more of the shadows. I kind of like it a little bit on the softer side. Like when you're bringing out more of the details, you're decreasing the contrast a little bit. I think that because the background's so busy, I don't want everything like super contrasted. I want it to look softer. So that's why we're gonna go to the tone curve and I'm gonna try to soften up the photo even more. Yeah, okay, we're on the right track here. This is looking great so far. You can add like 15 points on this. I think I go for about like 5 points on the tone curve, and that usually works for me. And then let's see if we can add a little bit of blue and yellow to this as well. Wow, I really like this so far. It added a little bit of yellow. Wow, I love that. Okay, this is looking great. With the color tab, I feel like there's so many colors and they're like there's such small print, it's not really gonna make a huge difference, but I do see a tree, so let's change the tree. That's why I love trees. I think I'm gonna decrease the saturation for the tree. See, it's kind of a little bit more saturated green, but then I just made it a little bit softer. The highlights, let's see. Oh, wow. This is so pretty. Okay, I love this. Like an old yellow tone here. Yes, looks great. And then let's see the calibration section. I kind of like the colors right now, but let's see. Oh my God. This is so pretty. Oh, this is great. Okay, this is the final photo. I'm super happy with this. The last one is from Idalmis, and this is such a pretty photo. Let's check out the settings. The ISO was at 1600. It was taken at 55 millimeter. The f-stop is at 2.8 and it's 1/250 for shutter speed. So where do I begin here? Okay, we got already some beautiful gold tones. I really like how this was shot. You guys all did such a great job with how you guys shot these photos. The befores are definitely beautiful. First things first, we're going to be decreasing the contrast. I added just a little bit of exposure. The shadows are going all the way up. If there was plus 500, I'm gonna keep scrolling to the right. Just want the whole background to show. Okay, we're not gonna actually. I'm probably just bring it down. I need to stop being so dramatic. We're just going down the line like the same steps. No, I'm catering it to every individual photo. So it's really fun to kind of find colors and options that work with each separate picture. I've been doing editing for so long. I just kind of know which colors to use and which which things to add to each individual photo. I kind of like the deep blacks here, so I think I'm gonna place that right there for the tone curve. It's already bringing out so much of that background too. Just a beautiful photo. And then we're going over to the blue tone curve. I never used to think about the outfits that the models wore. I just kind of put them in whatever, but it really makes a difference, like paying attention to what colors you have the model wear, because you're going to have to ultimately be editing those colors. And that's how you can develop a distinct style, by using a lot of photographers. If you notice, they use certain colors for the outfits that they use on the models. Maybe some people like more neutral tones, so they won't put a model in like neon pink, stuff like that. I never even paid attention to any of that. I had no idea. I literally put my models in whatever. I'm like, oh, just wear whatever, it's not going to matter. But it actually does really matter if you want a consistent style, because a consistent style also goes down to what colors are in the photo. So that's something interesting to think about. So with the colors here, I see that there's a bit of orange. So we're in the orange hue, saturation, luminance tab. This is a tricky one because literally orange is like 90% of the photo. So, ooh, that was kind of pretty, like adding in the blue. No profile corrections on this one. Let's go on over to the calibration. See the red primary. Ooh, okay, so the red primary is where it's at. Usually there's one that like really makes the difference. You just got to find out which one it is. So we have the red primary. I kind of like that. Let me see. It's like very, you gotta like zoom in to see any changes here. My eyes are like, am I even seeing anything happening? There we go. Okay, I definitely don't want it to be on the red side. So I like this. Just feel like we can add something a little bit more. Let me go back to the tone curve. The tone curve is gonna save us all. Okay, let's just add another point here and see what happens. Okay, let me see the temperature. I feel like the temperature is gonna make the big difference here. Yeah, wow. Okay, so changing the temperature too is something I find helps, change the course of the photo, like the color toning too. What temperature it's shot at. I kind of like this on a little bit more on the blue side, and then if we add a little bit more green, ooh, that's kind of pretty. I like adding a bit of green in there too. Wow, so pretty. I really like how this one turned out. This one was one of the harder ones. What did you guys think of the edits? How did I do? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video.